So, as I said in the audio video a day ago, YouTube has made the announcement that on August 13th, they're going to be rolling out this new age verification AI detection system. And not a lot of people, of course, are happy about it, but they have gone on record and said that if the AI messes up, and there's a potential it could, on detecting who's under 18 and who's not, that you have a way to verify who you are. You have a way of verifying it through ID or facial scan or credit card. Credit card mostly for those that use YouTube Premium. But that's how they're saying basically you can fix the situation if the AI makes a mistake. They also said that it's not going to apply to all users, and I'm thinking the users it doesn't apply to are those that have been on the platform since almost the beginning, at least for almost 20 years, like me and James Rolfe and Angry Video Game Nerd, that is, Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic, Linkara, Lewis Lovehog, Angry Joe, Joe Vargas, Pat the NES Punk, or Pat the NES Punk, if you will, Pat Cortair. All of us that have been here since the beginning, we don't really have, I think, much to worry about because, facially they see us on camera, and that's enough, in my opinion, to determine, yeah, that person is over 18. So that, to me, is going to help out. But a lot of people are worried about this because they feel like this is not the right move by YouTube. But to me, I think what they're reading more into is the whole AI situation and how it will make a mistake and how it could mess up and how it could probably hurt your channel and everything. And like I said, YouTube has mentioned, that it's not perfect or it's not going to be perfect. And I think the reason they're slowly, gradually rolling it out on the 13th is to see what bugs, glitches, and kinks they have to work out through maintenance to ensure that when it's fully rolled out over time, that basically the AI will detect what it's programmed to detect accurately and not mistakenly. But I bring this up because when I was thinking about what to say in that audio video, I was also thinking about the fact that the AI systems I use, the AI softwares and sites I use, do the same thing. They mess up. Through various prompts. Like, for example, one of the AI services I've been using lately, HailuO, H-A-I-L-U-O, I've been using them lately because the 02 update's been probably one of the more accurate prompt AI services I've seen and utilized. And there are times, and this goes for a lot of the AI services I use, like Kling, K-L-I-N-G, Luma, Pixverse, Pixverse, and many others, especially VEO3 and VEO2 from Google, the same applies for them, but there are times, HailuO, if you try to put in a prompt for something that might be a little risky, if you're a little risque, NFSW-like, basically they will, deny you that prompt. They will say re-enter it, and you'll have to reword the prompt to make it more acceptable. But there are also times, though, where the AI will actually allow you to let the prompt you want that's kind of risque and NFSW to go through. It's true. Now, I can't show you any of that here. I can't show you any of that here because it would go against YouTube's policy. But what I'm getting at is basically there will be times that I will go on, onto HailuO, if you will, onto HailuO, with the 02 update, and just out of curiosity, I'll take, like, for example, a screenshot of the Femme Fatale gadget from 00 Chipmunk and Mind Your Cheese and Q's from Chippendale Rescue Rangers, her in the red dress and all that. And just out of curiosity, I will say, have her act flirtatious, lustful, seductive, and all that. But then I would add in, while she's pulling down her straps on her dress, or pulling down her straps and top of her dress and strips. So I would put that in, and most of the time, I will get a message of, hey, re-enter, not appropriate, goes against guidelines and all that. But there is the occasion, probably more so than anything, that when I do it, the prompt will go through. And not only will it go through, but you'll get the result that you were asking for, well, at least close to it. Sometimes I'll just have, her character pull at the dress or pull at the strings on the dress and, the straps, if you will, in the dress, and that's it. Or at least I have her make it one strap go down and everything, but not show anything. But there are also occasions to where they will allow the character to go fully all the way. Yeah. And I have the videos, and again, I can't show them here on YouTube because of the fact that it will get me in trouble. But the point is, there have been prompts, video prompts, that have gone through to where not only does she take the top down and you see the upper bosom region, literally, but she'll take the whole dress down, or the whole dress off, and she's completely in the bare. There's no doubt about that. She's completely in the bare. And it's not just her either. I took a screenshot of Rebecca as the disguised as that 40s starlet mobster mall, if you will, from Bringing Down Babyface, and it's done it with her. Heck, I took the screenshot from the season 2 finale for Hell of a Boss from, which is Since Miss, where, Luna's sitting on the floor with her friends during the Christmas party or the Since Miss party, and I used the same prompt on her, and she took off her sweater, and she was completely bare on top. But the catch is, though, even though it allowed that to happen, and you have to be quick. That's another catch. You have to be quick on the draw, if you will, by basically going to the download button and downloading it to get the MP4. Because if you're not quick enough, when you go to download, you'll get a .xml file instead, which is not a video file. It's basically a document file. But you'll get an XML file and all that instead if you're not quick enough. And if you are quick enough, you get an MP4, which is kind of cool. That way you can have the video as proof, of, hey, they allowed this to happen. But, yeah, basically, Halo U, on occasions, will allow that to occur. They will allow that to become a reality. And I'm just totally blown away by that. I mean, if you would have told, I'm sure, the animators of those episodes on Rescue Rangers that essentially 36 years later there would be a technology that would allow people to take screenshots of Gadget as a femme fatale and basically use the technology to make her strip, to be bare, to nothing but her bareness. If you would have told them that 36 years ago, I guarantee you none of them would have believed it. But yet here we are. But again, like I said, one of the catches is if you want the video, you got to be quick on the ball. You got to be quick on the draw to download it, or else you're not going to get it. The other thing too, as well, is even though you spend credits to make it happen, you'll get those credits back, surprisingly, because Halo U, and I'm sure other services do the same thing, will basically refund you your credits because they'll tell you need to re-edit or appeal. You need to re-edit or appeal, I guess you could say I wouldn't say blockage, but the removal of your prompt, because the prompt goes against guidelines. But to me, Halo U is the one that allowed it to happen. The same thing with Google's VEO3 and VEO2. They will, if they allow it to happen, they have to refund you too. Because they have to take back what they allowed you to do and realize, it's against our guidelines, we have to take that back and refund them. Same with Kling, same with Pixverse, same with VIDU, and same with Luma. But again, the reason I bring this up is because it shows that AI is not perfect, especially if they allow certain things like that to become reality, become existable for people to see. And I bring this up, as strange as it is, when I'm talking about the whole YouTube AI system, to bring up a point. When YouTube and Google, whether you believe them or not, says that the AI may mess up at times and all that, because it's new, in trying to detect, through age verification, who's 18 and who's not, what they're saying is it's not always going to get things right, and you need to basically, even though it's going to be on you, which, it shouldn't be, but it's going to be up to you to verify, hey, I'm not that young, I'm not under 18, I'm above it. But they also say it's not going to be required for all users, and I think it's mostly for the newer ones that through the search and all that, the history, the watch history, search history, and all that, and as well as the channel. It's going to be probably more targeted towards those users and be like, yeah, these might be 18. Let's check it out. Let's see what they've been watching and searching and all that. About under 18. That's basically the goal with this AI system, to look at channels, mostly the newer ones, to where someone could be, maybe 16, 15 years old. They have a channel, and everything, but they're under the disguise of 18. And they can determine just by the search history, the watch history, and the content, yeah, this person is not 18 as they say they are, they're younger. So that's probably what they're targeting more than anything. But they have said that there will be users, newer ones, veteran ones and all that may have to, verify themselves due to the fact that the AI could potentially mess up. And because of the slow rollout, the casual slow rollout on the 13th, to me, I think I mentioned this earlier, it's to see what bugs, kinks, and, glitches need to be worked, need to be maintained on, so that as they're continuously rolling it out throughout the weeks that follow, the AI will be more, accurate to detect who's actually under 18, what, channels, are under 18 exactly, and what channels are above 18, exactly. So to me, that's why they're doing it. And again, I mentioned what I go through with the AI services I use through the prompts, and them not being perfect, not just on giving you what you want through the prompt, because sometimes they won't exactly give you what you want, but also on the fact that they will allow certain things that go against the guidelines to actually happen before they have to retract them. So anyway, to me, I get people are worried, but they have to understand this is just something that over time, YouTube and Google, if they want to keep the trust of the people and the consumers and all that, they're going to have to really work on and make sure that the AI they're rolling out with this is more accurate, is more accurate on trying to figure out who is 18 and not, than they're letting on right now, because again, once they roll it out, yeah, there's going to be some mistakes made, but again, it's due to the fact that they want to, probably find some bugs and glitches and kinks that need to be worked on. But, again, as changes as is to bring up, AI is not perfect. Okay? So AI is not perfect. So all I'm saying in the end is this. Just be on the lookout. It's not a big deal. Just be on the lookout for that possibility happening, because YouTube and Google, whether you believe them or support them or trust them or not, at least they're letting you know that, hey, this potentially could happen, so you need to be ready for it. Because they're even saying the AI is not perfect. It's still in development. Same with the AIs that I use to their services. But that's all I can say on it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like the video, ring the bell for notification, subscribe to the channel, click on the links in the description to find my content elsewhere outside of YouTube, as well as click on the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. But give me your thoughts on what I've had to say here, guys. What are your thoughts overall? Have you experienced things with some of the AI services I've used to where you're like, wow, I'm surprised they let that happen, and then it gets retracted and gives you credits back and all that? Let me know. And until then, I'm out.